Hurricanes, typhoons, cyclones, call it what you want, but these are the same thing depending on where they occur. They are scientifically called tropical cyclones. They affect nearly all Pacific Island countries and are the most frequent hazard to affect Fiji, with around 2 to 3 cyclones occurring every year. As a result of climate change, cyclone frequency has doubled in the last decade. The cyclone season in Fiji runs from November to April, and some cyclones do occur outside this season. Our nation's business team will bring you a 3-part series uncovering the severity of cyclones that occurred this year and the government relief responses and rehabilitation efforts to help normalize Fijian lives. We will also bring you coverage of government's Care Fiji initiative and how it is transforming Fijian lives in the Western Division. This week, we look at how the National Disaster Management Office is working with local communities to better understand the extensive flooding that occurred across the Western and the Northern Division during Tropical Cyclone Kenny and Tropical Cyclone Josie. The 2017 to the 2018 cyclone season has been described as one of the worst in Fijian history. This is not just because of the severity of cyclones, but the continuous heavy rainfall which has caused rapid flooding in many areas. Earlier this year, Fiji faced 3 severe cyclones with 14 tropical depression. More than 15,000 people were affected during these storms. On February the 3rd to the 19th, Tropical Cyclone Gita affected islands on southern parts of Laos. Tropical Cyclone Josie claimed the lives of 5 people during severe flooding. That same month, Tropical Cyclone Kenny affected parts of western Viti Levu and Kandavu. Strong winds, heavy rainfall caused major flooding to these parts of Fiji. People were left isolated with limited access to water, electricity, and other essential services during this time. While Fijians are still recovering from previous natural disaster, the need for rehabilitation is still high. DISMAC was established as the coordinating center for government in times of natural disaster.
The Ministry for Economy, through the Capital Implementation Unit, they are looking at a damage to the education sector. So they are looking at reconstructing all the schools. So we have estimated will be more than 100 million for damages. And also in relation to the rehabilitation cost, it will be also around some about that figure in relation to building back better, especially for schools, the public infrastructure, and also for the health sector. Because that one we have to go to according to a building standard for the reconstruction.
The Attorney General and Minister for Economy, Ayaz Said Qayyum, announced in the 2018 to the 2019 national budget then $1 billion was allocated to education. From this, $90 million has been allocated for education in the rebuilding back from Tropical Cyclone Winston, Tropical Cyclone Gita, Cyclone Kenny, and Josie.
As always, Madam Speaker, climate change poses a serious threat to the education of our people, and we are raising the standard of resilience across the board in education, rebuilding back better from TC Winston, Gita, Kenny, and Josie with a total allocation of $90 million. We're also bringing a level of uniformity, aside from meeting highest standards in construction, to the design of schools in Fiji, along with interior and exterior furnishings, and that will be funded by a special grant for school renovation of $6.9 billion for government and non-government schools.
As part of its normal relief efforts, government will continue to regularize Fijians in informal settlements at towns, cities, and community level to bring more security to its tenants.
And this time around, they're also looking at those within informal settlements. That is something new that we normally don't undertake in the past, but that is also an area where majority of the affected population are normally under. Those are within these informal settlements. So basically, under the care, those are the main broad categories.
Mr. Leoningila said the magnitude of the work done at DISMAC requires more resources and manpower.
This office, one of the things that we are trying to request through the budget is additional resources, manpower. Right now we only have around 11 established staff, together with other staff that are based out of the division. So looking at the magnitude of the work that we normally do, from November to April, we are required to stay in the office. So we need resources, and also when there's a declare in the state of emergency, or if there's an indication of a period of bad weather, we are required to do manning of the emergency operation center, whether it's 12 hours or 24 hours, and also at the divisional level. So that is one thing that we are looking at, and also to look at initiatives for the construction of evacuation centers, retrofitting of homes, and also to look at disaster risk reduction initiatives like sea walls, retaining walls. These are just focused on trying to reduce the risk or the vulnerability of communities. So those are some of the things the NDM office has requested through the national budget.
We will bring you more after the break. Before cyclone season, we should be aware of cyclone warning system and also exercise precautionary measures. Mba resident Eti Sharma tells us what happened to his family when flood waters affected his area.
This is my house. The flood was here up till here. Yeah. See all the damages here. See all the damages here. Yeah. But lucky this flood came in the daytime. If this flood come on the night time, plenty people could have died. We could have been died, or we could have been stuck in the house. The amount of flood it came, and suddenly it just came on the 20 minutes. Just like 20 minutes, the flood came, and 20 minutes it went out. So it's very dangerous.
Paying close attention to weather advisories is crucial in times of emergencies.
The tropical cyclone season comes every year, and we need to understand that the tropical cyclones are those that are very highly impacting natural disaster. We need to be prepared as the cyclone season approaches. The next cyclone season will begin in November 2018, and we need to see that all our communities are well understand the preparatory phase when it comes in October. And as we enter in the tropical cyclone season, we need to see that our communities are well prepared for the upcoming tropical cyclone season, as well as prepare for the wet season that will be ahead of us.
Weather advisory is doing a great job when we, the weather is very bad. We had to respond to the radio. Now we got the advice from the radio, how is the weather is coming, the rain is flooded. So it is they're doing a good job. We are getting something, even we are getting ready when we listening to the weather station.
It started in the morning, 7 o'clock, and everything just happened within 7 minutes. Sorry, not 7 minutes, 15 minutes basically. Usually the route of the water is from the back of the house, but this time it was from the windows, where all the fence and everything was damaged, and water just entered through the windows to the bed and house basically.
It's too much swamp here, too much dirty places, so we doesn't like to see this is happen again in our community. So it is the drainage is not good. It should be blocked, all blocked out here. It should be clean, and people are so poor here. This government is helping us. It's very good.
I think this water is from last night around 2 p.m. We saw the water level rising, then we moved all our car to the upper places. So, but from morning, the level is still increasing. It's not decreasing.
Now we have got a flood in our house. Everybody in the house a flood, underwater, and we never save anything. all the thing comes bed. See the beds there, everything bed. And Asgang can't walk anything this time. And all the sponge, everything wet. We can't sleep on the sponge.
The thing is that we see that these days the weather advisories that has been given by the Fiji Meteorological Service has been coming out in different forms. One of them is coming through the media releases that goes to the print media as well as the TV stations in terms of media conferences. This has given more of leverage in terms of accessibility to this information to the community. Community are responding very positively. They're taking heed of these warnings, and they are getting prepared as any disasters or any warnings for the severe weather are given. So it's a positive change that in mindset and the attitude of the people that has been seen, and this is very encouraging.
Government is responsible for providing the advisory. The decision to follow the advisory is a personal choice. That is up to the individual who's looking whether they follow the advice or no, but that is something that we are working on right now. The importance for communities to heed the advisories that are coming from government, because that is can help them save their lives and also their loved ones. So we are always pleading with the community on the need to heed the advice and prepare well, because right now disaster is not only from November to April, it is something that we need to work on for the 12 months of a year, because we don't know when we will have a drought, we don't know when we'll have the next flash flooding, and then there's also the incidence of tropical cyclone during the normal cyclone period.
DISMEC is assisting people of Tambuya in Kandavu with the construction of sea wall. Mr. Leonigila said communities are coming forward with their requests of evacuation centers, retaining walls and river walls.
Because of the short time span that we have to react, some of the flash flooding are just within 6 hours, some are within 4 hours. So we are trying to advocate with the communities on the need to make better informed choices. Then the movement of people during floods is based on people's decision. Because people in the flood-prone areas need to make the right decision when they are required to make that decision. And not when flood waters are high, then they start calling for help for evacuation. So those are some of the things that we are working with the communities, the advisory councillors, and the Turangani Korwe on the need for better preparedness, especially with flooding events.
We will bring you more after the break. Our question for this week: who is the Director for National Disaster Management Office? A. Anare Leoningila, B. Iowani Tiko, C. Ravin Kumar, D. Meleti Mbanimarama. If you think you know the answer to this week's question, please log on to the Fijian government's Facebook page for your answer. 5 lucky winners will receive a copy of this week's Nation's Business. Submit your answers before 4 p.m. Thursday, 30th August 2018. Ba in western Viti Levu was badly hit by Cyclone Josie and Cyclone Kenny and the 3 consecutive floods that followed. Some of the villages in Ba that were affected included Tonge Village, Nasolo Village, Sasa Village, Nandrau, and Balevuto. This is 59 years old Liliviwa Nasinga of Sasa Village in Ba. She is one of the many villages whose livelihoods was affected during these storms.
Sala ko may kinanaway kito sa rere ninga ito talinga rito na makumbungu and rende na nito toki patake na nito yaya uri talinga na hali ni ko rende talinga nrala ko may nira rere baka na mabuwa ni sale buto ko tunaway sana ko na patalinga kinanadhangi ala ko batiti ko nadhangi ni singa ya lebu na kabani bale rabu kamai ona buna era ndende kinera ko mai na bibuke okay to talenga ndende talenga ni to toso ibali songo ni koko talchunga na tangi na bomisinga ona kono sarango ala kinana wai ngo Kito sa Bakabasarangango, may rawan yung bausong at anaway na kinandula ko miloma.
The need for relocation is high, and villagers like Liliviu Nasinga is pleading with government to help them relocate.
Yo kito sa bibo sa kitiko patikir to sotale, may kito sa bola-bola ni be Prime Minister. Membale takwa na ngele tiko may sao, may kito toki kina. Yo nangono ko sa sona pale sa tiko may kina. Nabono nga kito kila narani wali sarangana ni tulenga.
Assistant Minister for Agriculture VM Pillay said relocation work by government has started in parts of Ba that were affected during these natural disasters.
Relocation program is already there. Like one particular village, if you go, it's Nasolo village. And right on top, there's a new Nasolo housing. So people have already moved, but there are still few houses, they are staying there. You know? And even some of the villages, this is the first time water level has gone up to that level.
The Assistant Minister said getting to these villages was difficult at that time.
Tonge village, I was able to reach the village after 4 days. I kept on trying, but because of the crossing and because of the road covered with mud and everything, our machines were not able to come this side to clear the roads. So these were some of the scenarios, not only in Tonge, but same with Nasolo and also other villages on top, and also Votua and this place. So slowly and slowly all worked together to make this possible, and then we moved ahead.
He adds his office is working closely with members of community to address these issues. Next week on Nation's Business, we bring you government assessment and relief work on parts of Laos after Cyclone Gita.